Not all these new cards, no new champions, but got this. Okay, we got Destiny's Call. Grant an ally in hand +8/+8. I mean, that only works if you have a decent board. If you don't have a decent board, then this is just 8 mana, skip a turn. So if they already attacked you, then you can play this and it makes sense. Or maybe you have like a 1-drop and you have this on it. But I mean, as it stands, it's not really that good. And it's not like it works with Tarek, who's like, you put in Tarek in your hand, then Tarek just plays and he attacks and then he gets that buff on top of it. That would be insane, but it doesn't work like that. I don't think. No, it won't work like that. But that'll be interesting though. So it's gotta be played like after they do something. What's next? Scar Tipped Peak. Scar Tipped Peak. Landmark. Cooldown 2. Create 2 random celestial cards that cost 3 or less in hand. Okay, so yeah, so the celestial cards have their another aggro tool. So this actually hurts really, really well with aggro. Especially with the create random celestial card that costs 3 or less. Those are really good cards. Like the other ones, there's a scale, and like when you get to like a certain level, it kind of goes ridiculous, and so that's where you get your obliterates and your supernovas and your what's his name? Not I don't actually know his name. I just call him Magnum Opus, but those guys and all those big name cards. But with this, it actually makes really good sense. So I think if the cooldown works like end of my turn, end of their turn, then back on my turn, it will be ready to go. I'll have two for the most part fast cards. Well, not fast, but like low cost cards. So I can have like a snake, or I can have a bull, or I can have the what's that, weasel? If the elusive weasel one. Like you have all those kind of things like set up, and it kind of really works. So it worked pretty nice with Zoe, and like just how this is set up is definitely a show that target has their aggro with a couple other tools, but you can have a nice mono target aggro, which is pretty nice. All right, Lost Riches. It's a 4-drop burst. Draw a treasure. If there aren't any to draw, create 2 treasures in your deck instead. That's actually interesting because it automatically draws the treasure. Like the only way you can actually no. This actually can be really good because you put 2 treasures in the deck, and since treasures can't be tossed, they just bring it to your hand. That's actually useful because you're bringing more treasures into your deck. So that would be a 3-of instantly because naturally it's a stall deck. Like the deep decks are more stally, so they're more like late game decks. So you toss just a bunch of treasures in your deck, and then you just try to toss them so you get the cards because they can't be tossed. So you just grab the treasures, bring them up, and then you're ready to go. That's actually really useful. Yeah, and plus it's what the treasures are essentially 3. The treasures. Nope. I don't show them. That's weird. That's weird. I don't know. But the treasures, that's the one that does 5 damage to all units. The one that summons those 3/5/5s, and then when they get deep, they turn into 8/8s. And then you have the treasure chest, which is you get 5 cards for free, and you just play whatever is there. So this is just good. This is just a really good card. Because if you just wait up late game, it's because this burst is just instantly tossed in there. And if you need to grab one treasure, I grab one of them, and it's just good. But yeah, especially with deep, this is really good because if you have slaughter docks and they just like toss your treasure, you get it. So you're ready to go. This is actually this is really useful. This would be pretty funny to see like if this actually working. I'd be pretty interested to see how this works. So I'm very interested in that. I was thinking loaded dice. I call one's a triangle and then one's a square or a cube and a pyramid. For the rest of the round, when you damage the enemy next is nab 1. Wait, what? For the rest of the round, when you damage the enemy next is nab 1. This is so stupid. Oh my god, is this you just want to message your opponent? Hey, hey, let me get your stuff. Let me just grab your stuff. Like if you can proc this so it just goes off constantly with like Ezreal or something, so anytime you play a spell you start just shooting at them for one. Oh my god, that's so gross. That's so gross. And yeah, since it is in Bilgewater, you have plunders where you start just going off. Oh my god, that's so gross. Or what'd be hilarious if you use Rex and like you all their stuff's going, you just like just pinging them in the face. You take like 7 of their cards. Such a trolly card. Oh my god, this is like almost anti-control. Like if you want to get rid of control cards, you play this just to take your opponent's stuff. Oh my god, that's so trolly. Alright, next one. We got Shadow Apprentice. It's a 1-drop, 1/1 elusive. That's pretty good just stat-wise, 1/1 elusive, because it's like the Bilgewater card. That's 1-drop, 1/1, but it's got Fearsome on top of it being elusive, which is actually really, really good. This one is actually interesting because it's when I'm summoned, grant me +1/+1 if an ally has Ephemeral. So if you have that 1-drop that has Ephemeral and then you play this, you just have a 2/2 Ephemeral, which is just good. Just arguably good because it's what was that? It was a 4-drop that was a 2/2 elusive that drew you a card. So this is essentially like that card, but without you drawing a card. And it's like you'd be one cheaper. So that's really good. And you can just end it. You can end it when you just hit him with this. It's good. Field Musician. Each round, once you summon 3 other allies, refill your spell mana and draw 1. The little the Dragonling creator. Yeah, the one who creates those Dragonlings. With this, ready to go. Or if you have Ionian Allegiance, play that 4-drop, summon 2 1/1s, boom, ready to go. Because each round, it doesn't just like it doesn't end, it keeps going, which is kind of really, really good. But I'm not really that good on control. I don't really like control too much, so it won't be my forte. But I can see where it can work. Production Surge, 0 cost, slow. To play, spend all your mana. Resummon random turrets whose total cost equal the mana spent. Wait, what? To play, spend all your mana. Summon random turrets whose total cost equal the mana spent. Okay, so you make a bunch of turrets that's total cost equal the money you spent. I mean, you can get like one big one. You can get like a T-Hex if you spend like 8, or you can get like a bunch of little 1-drops and some other ones. You get some fearsomes. So this is just an RNG card, like straight up an RNG card. If you just want to have some fun, you'll play this card. Like just literally, you just want to have some fun. This seems just like a fun meme card to just have fun with. I don't really see it possibly being played that often, just because the fact that you don't know what you're getting and you just have a bunch of random turrets. So you have bodies, but it's not really that good. Yeah. Now we have concurrent timeline. For the rest of the game, the first time you play a follower each round, pick one of 3 followers with the same cost to transform it into. How good is that? I mean, there's some cards that have like better stats. And this is probably like for abilities, like if you think. Cost 1. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. If you have Ledros, right? You play Ledros, right? And then because it's 1 of 3, I don't think there's that many 9-drops to my knowledge. There's a good bit of 8-drops, but it's not that many 9-drops. So if you play Ledros, and then you pick one of 3 followers with the same cost to transform, I don't think you can pick the same card. So what happens? Because it can't be that many. So you play, like, let me think. Ledros would be what? Ledros. Kick. What's the name? The Kick Girl. Dreadway. Um, what other 9-drops are there? It's not really that many 9-drops. There's like 2 other. 909. Nope. They put 9. Nope. I'm gonna card gallery for a second. Okay, let's look up 7 plus. 9-drops, 9-drops, 9-drops. That's not. Yeah, look at that. It's Karina, Kerrigan, Mina, Brightsteel, and Gledros. And Dreadway. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, look at that. So this one counts as Celestial, won't count. But that literally means you played Ledros. You can't get Ledros again. So that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have 1 out of 5 chances of getting Dreadway. And I don't know if this is correct, but since this ability will activate because it's a play effect, and then it transforms to this, will it resolve before this happens? Or will you transform it into this and then just one-shot your opponent? I don't know if that's correct or not. Stop. I don't know if that's correct or not. But I feel like that's correct. Because if that is, that's an instant 10 kill your opponent. Instant 20 kill your opponent just out of nowhere. But you have to stall to that. But you actually can, because Korea control was a thing for a while. And you can bring that back and just stall at your opponent. And then you just concurrent timeline, just blow them up. It's kind of ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie. That is an interesting win con. So you either have to deny it on the stack as it's there, or kill them before that goes off, or get rid of Dreadway. There's all the things you have to possibly do, or transform it, or return it, something like that. You have to do something to stop that activation. But yeah, I think the only thing that could actually really stop would be Ionia, in all honesty, because the thing's on the stack. You have to hurt it and kill it, or you have to just kill it. So it's like Ionia, Shadow Isles, or what other things? No, no, no. Because since it's on the stack already, what can you do to interfere with that stack? Ionia, Shadow Isles. Oh, the new Frill Draw card, so you can entomb it. That's the thing. Can't really think top of my head that makes any sense. Not really. That'd be hard. Alright, well that's Crimson Bloodletter. The next time you summon another ally, deal 1 damage to it and grant me +1/+1. So it's a 1-drop, possibly a 2/3. It's pretty good. Like, that's really good. You can go Bloodletter into, what's it called? The Crimson what? Noxus. Nope. 2-drop. Crimson Disciple. Yeah, okay. So you go into Crimson Disciple. Yeah, and then you go Imperial Demolitionist. Yeah, so you go Crimson Disciple. Yeah, so you go Crimson Bloodletter into Crimson Disciple into Imperial Demolitionist. That right there is damage coming out. Or you can have 2 Crimson Bloodletters, put them on the field, play Crimson Disciple, pop, pop, do 2 damage to them, and then you have 2 2/3s plus a 2/1 ready to go. Interesting. Or you can even play Demolitionist on Crimson Bloodletter, which will ping this and ping that. So there's a bunch of 2/3s or 2/2s coming out, or just you have a bunch of 2/2s. So it's just not good to go against Frodor, but this is really good. This is a really good card. Hmm. Strength in numbers. Summon 2 Legion Marauders. Wait, is this is this compared to the Demacian card? Hold up. Because let me go Demacia. Where that costs spells. Yeah, it's compared to this, the reinforcement, which is summon 2 Dauntless Vanguards, then give elites +1/+1. Yeah, it's comparable to this. That's interesting. Because they make 3/3s and then you got 4/4s. Compare it to. Nope, nope, nope. Yeah, you compare it to that. Bring this out. Where you make 3/2s, and then when they attack, they get buff one each. Well, +1/+1 for each one that's attacking. So it'd be +2/2. So it'll turn them into what? 5/4s. So they'll attack and do 5/4s. And if you attack with other ones, then you get exponentially more. So this can be actually pretty. It won't be competitive, but this will be actually interesting to see this like go off, because the likelihood of you getting this like leveled up is really interesting, because you can bring this out on like turn 5. You don't play what? Turn 1 skip, turn 2 skip, turn 3 play, turn 4 play, turn 5 play this. You put, yeah, so you can actually have 4 of them on the field. You have 4 of them on the field. They attack and they all get +4/+4 technically, if you do it that way, which is kind of actually useful. That's really actually useful there. Yeah, interesting. It's not gonna be competitive, but that'll be actually interesting. I mean, if it becomes competitive, that would be hilarious to watch that thing come. Because you compare it to the Demacia one, that's doesn't get played at all. But it's a really decent card. Like, it's just good for stats. And I do like how the fact that they did make this just to compare against the Demacian one. So like, cause Nox and Demacia, they constantly like compare each other. You have like, Garen and Darius comparing against each other. Now you have these two comparing against each other. There needs to be another. What was it? Well, Arika versus what 8 drop does Noxus have for Arika? Actually, let me check something. Check the gallery for a second. Demacia, Noxus. It's like 8 drops. Okay, that's weird. Why is it not doing that? Go over. Shadow Isles. That's odd. That's very odd. That is very odd. Why is it not showing Noxus? That's weird. I don't know. That's very weird. But yeah. So I mean, compared to there are a bunch of cards that go hand in hand against each other with like Demacia and Noxus. It is actually interesting to see how that lays up, but I'd be interested to see. All right, next one we got another Noxus card. We got Shrieking Spinners. Grand Spiders allies +1/+1. I mean +1/+0. Yeah, attack. Does this include itself? Because I know that Demacian one that did it doesn't include itself anymore. I think it says other allies. But this one might include itself. So when you attack, I mean, it doesn't have fearsome. So in attacks, it's like just good. So yeah, like this buffing the spiders that attack, even buffing Elise, it's actually pretty nice. And it's a 2/5, which for what it's doing, it's decent stats. Could be a 4-drop, technically attacking, it'd be a 3/5, buffing other things. So that's actually just really good stats. Because at least it can survive like at least one attack. And then it'll come back. Because most things won't be able to deal with like a 5-drop, like 5 health. So yeah. So Spinner. When I'm summoned, grant me +1/+1 and fearsome if an ally died this round. I don't know how to feel about this one. There's a spider, so it activates the spider ability, but I don't know. It's very weird. Because you want to activate that, you get fearsome, you get +1, so it'll be a 3-drop, 4/3 with fearsome, which is great. But this feels weird. I mean, it can work, but you gotta like basically it'd be like if you on turn one, play that 1-drop 2/1 Grizzly Spider. Turn 2 play Elise, and then turn 3 you attack. They kill your little spider, then you play this. So you have turn 3, you have this spider ready to go, and then you just buff up, and then when your turn again, you just play the 3/1 Frenzied Skitterer, and then you're all buffed up. This turns into a what 5/3. So this could be actually very useful. Yeah, if you put Fearsome on it, like this comes out. Before their turn, you play this. Then on your turn, play Frenzied Skitterer. This gets up, buffs up, this buffs up, and then you attack, this buffs up again, this buffs up. That's pretty interesting. You can't actually do that. Figured it out. Figured it out. So mostly it's protects you when it least attacks, and someone kills the 1/1. You got that. It's ready to go. Interesting. Sea Scarab. Sea Scarab's a 2-drop, 2/1. When another ally dies or last breath, toss 1. Wait, what? I don't understand. Like when another ally dies or last breath. Interesting. I mean, it is deep, but this is really weak though. I mean, it is an early game sea monster, but it's really weak though. Maybe this is a quicker way for like Maokai to activate. Like you have what's it called? Shadow Isles, 3-drop. Oh, I'm on spells. No wonder. That makes sense. Because there's no Noxus spells at 7 and 8. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. Yeah, Blighted Caretaker. You have Blighted Caretaker with Maokai, then this works really well. Because you'll toss 3, and then with Maokai, you toss another 3. So yeah, you can actually. Ooh. Aggro Maokai. Well, not really Aggro Maokai, but Aggro Milkai. That was it. Aggro Milkai. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, see, these are the things to put. Yeah. Okay, cool. And then versus Demacia. Yeah. So yeah, it would be Tiana versus who would Tiana even verse? Like no one really. No one actually can face Tiana. She's too strong. Yeah, Blooded Steel Formation versus Captain Farron, but he's technically an 8 and this is a 9. I mean technically it'd be Tiana, but she can take on Captain Farron and like take him out. But you also have Captain Enrico, but she can take out Captain Farron and take him out, so it's like really weird. Yeah, so Noxus needs some more like heavy drops. This is okay, but they need definitely more heavy drops. Kerrigan's a Demacian card. I did not know that. Huh. Learn new stuff every day. Yeah, but they have no spells to even handle this though. That's another issue with Nox. They have no maybe because Nox is just like early game, it's just aggro, so you just want to get them out of the way and just kill them. So I can understand. But yeah. So yeah, with Milkai though, that's actually pretty interesting with Shadow Isles 3 Blighted Caretaker. That can be actually really, really useful. Just quick tosses. Ooh. Because the whole point is just to toss your thing as quick as possible, and then you activate your stuff. Interesting. Interesting. What's 2-drop again? Yeah, you have like Curse Keeper. Interesting indeed. 20 Toad. Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting setup there. Alright, now what's else got? Yeah, so Sea Scarab can be actually really useful. It'll be a heavy mill deck. You just want to get rid of your opponent's stuff, you play Sea Scarab. Then it's just make them draw and you're good. Yeah. When you play a dragon, it strikes me and you draw 1. Are there any weak dragons? I don't think so. There's no like low cost dragons that like. Yeah, there's actually no low cost dragons. So this is just literally just strike and draw 1. Unless you put the 8-drop, I mean mortal cards, so whenever you play this, you just strike it and you just keep drawing cards. But Besides that, it's just a one cost, takes a hit, and then you play a dragon, kill it, and then draw a card. Interesting. Towering Stonehorn. I don't take damage from enemy spells or skills. Interesting. You can still kill it though. Say, yeah. Yeah, you can still kill, just straight up kill this stuff. But yeah, Demacia, they have some strong cards. Like a 6-drop 7/7 that don't take damage from spell or skills. That's really strong. That is really strong. Just first of all, the stats are above average. For a 6-drop 7/7, it's above average. And then it takes no damage from skill or spells. That's good. But I don't see that being played because it's just, since it's in Demacia, like I don't even know why it's even in Demacia. This should be like an Ionian card, shouldn't it be? Towering Stonehorn, because it's like a creature that's like walking around. I think maybe because it's like on like a Petricide or something, so you can't take spells or skills because it's like, you know, Demacia and they don't like magic. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Oh god. Stop. We got Ancestral Boon. Create the top ally in your deck +2/+2. Well, grant the top ally in your deck +2/+2. Enlighten. Instead, grant all allies in your deck +2/+2. Okay, so it's just a stole card. No, it's a card that gets benefited by stole. You stole your opponent, you buff all your stuff, and then you just like run them over. It's not really that playable. Honestly, it's not. Maybe if like with Brawn was something that like for freeze and you just start buffing your deck up, but really it's not really that playable. Spoils of War. Grant an ally +1/+2. Plunder, grant +2/+4 instead. So that'd be pretty nice for Sejuani. And cards like Sejuani. Yeah. Because like plunder triggering. And +2/+4 is just good. It's good stats on top of something. So that's actually really good. But yeah, those are all the new cards out there. Yeah, the rest is just kindred stuff and stuff like that. So yeah, so these are these are just all the region cards that are coming out. So this would be really nice to see. Yeah, these are all the region cards. But Sea Scarab's gonna be really interesting, especially they push a heavy Milkai, and then like the spiders gonna be really interesting with these two spiders with the spider combinations. I want to see this work. I definitely see this work. But this is the what first? Yeah, first Noxian spell that's above 7. So that's finally something. But it's just, you know, champions. It makes sense with Noxus. That's who Noxus actually is. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff you can do with Noxus, which I can't wait. Blood Letters is this is a really good card. It works really well with the Crimson deck. So I can't wait to see how this like lines up. I wonder if this person be like Zed. I'm assuming Shadow Apprentice. So it's gotta be for Zed because it's got Ephemeral as well. So yeah, it's Zed. Whenever someone grants me +1 if an ally has Ephemeral. See, that's what's so weird that because it says when I'm summoned, grant me +1/+1 if an ally has Ephemeral. It's not like grant me +1/+1 when you see an ally have Ephemeral, or when you play an ally with Ephemeral, or you see it, yeah, like something like that. But it's just when I'm summoned, so it's like weird. Like you have to have already played something that has Ephemeral for this to work. So it kind of works, but it's still good. Loaded Dice is just funny and meme, just to mess with somebody. Loaded Riches looks like it's gonna be really fun. Like a late game Deep Sea would be great. This is gonna be Celestial Aggro. And I don't know what Destiny's Call, what's it gonna do, honestly. Like you have to be either winning or be able to stall your opponent so much that this actually matters. But I like what's coming out there. This is gonna be really interesting. Demacia's got a lot of stuff. And if this has nothing to do with Jarvan, which is very interesting as well. So maybe it pushes toward the next thing or something. I don't know. But yeah. That's enough of me looking over this, so I'm very happy. These are the new cards before the next expansion, but for the next expansion, so these are some of the multiple regions. So cool. Nice.